Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck profile. We're here today with some Quasar. Yes, we're here today with another Quasar deck. This is the refusion build. I mean, there's a variety of different builds, but I'm doing the Synchron fusionist build where you just use Norden a lot and you can do a lot of really silly stuff with this deck. It's Quasar. I mean, being able to make Quasar is definitely really nice. It's not very competitive. You really have to know the combos of this deck and be able to understand all of it, but of course, like all Quasar decks, you want to make Quasar or maybe Trishula or Trishula, and then just go for game. I mean, that's it. So, against the meta, against Performer Pals, it could probably do very decent. I mean, as long as if they have like too many strikes and warnings set, then yeah, that's gonna be a problem. But Performer Pals, Draco Pals, they're trying to OTK you and you're trying to OTK them. They're not too interested in stopping your plays, so that's the matchup you want to go up against, because I mean, we do have two Twin Twisters, so if they see their strike, let's hope we see ours, or see our Twin Twister. And against Cosmos can be a little bit more annoying if they have Slip Rider, if they have Dark Destroyer, because they could just pop stuff and that can result in your monsters being banished, or Norden being banished, which can be really annoying if he does get banished, but there's ways to get him back. I mean, as you guys can see, there's DDR. And against Monarchs is probably the worst matchup for this deck because of Domain. If you don't have an out to Domain, it's just going to slowly just go away, because they're going to just storm forth whatever monster you set, and then just get rid of cards from your hand. It's just going to become harder and harder and harder for you to make combos, and once you do see Twin Twister, it might be too late. So anyways, let's go right into the deck profile. 3 quick draw for the Synchrons. We're running 3 quick draw, 3 junk Synchron, and then we are playing 2 jet Synchron. Those are our Synchron tuners. It's pretty standard. I know I don't really like playing Junk Synchron at 2 because he's an awful draw, because after you've used your normal summon or 2, we are running Sapphire Knight, which does make Junk Synchron even better, because I mean, seeing him and you get an extra normal summon is really nice, but if you don't get that extra normal summon, seeing him is awful, because you've already normal summoned, he doesn't special himself out. It can just be really, really annoying, and so if you don't like him at 3, I don't blame you, put him down to 2, but he's pretty decent. And of course, quick draw, he can special himself out, so put him at 3. You want to see this guy. I mean, he's a level 5 tuner. He's great for level 8. And then of course, Jet Synchron is pretty decent at 2. I mean, you can get him with 1-for-1, you can get him with tuning if you really need to, if you already have like a junk, or if you already have a quick draw and you want to have a tuner just in case. And of course, you can also summon him out with Road Warrior if you can make him. And in order to make Road Warrior, you have to use quick draw. So I mean, there's a lot of ways to get to Jet Synchron. And then we're also running 1 Synchron Explorer, because 3-card combo for Quasar. That's it. I mean, I like Junk Synchron a little bit better, because I mean, I can make Librarian, but Synchron Explorer, if I have Synchron Explorer, Quick Draw, and Level Leader, I'm going to go for the 3-card combo. I mean, it's just pretty simple. I'm trying to make Quasar. There's no need to do anything fancy, unless I'm really certain, like if I have the 3 cards, and then because this deck does want to go second, so I'll have like 6 cards in my hand. Maybe starting with 4 would be awful. So like if I had like Foolish and then Instant Fusion and then Refusion, then yeah, I might try to do something else just to see what I can do. That's what makes this deck so fun, is you're just trying to see how far you can go and stuff like that. And then for other Synchro cards, we have the 2 Doppel. He's pretty easy to get off of Rhoda. He's very nice, being able to summon level 1 tokens. And then of course 3 Synchron Fusionists. This guy's great to Synchro summon with, just because he gets you an Instant Fusion or a Refusion or your Brilliant Fusions, which is nice, because I mean, if you open up with some way to get him into the graveyard and 2 Junk Synchron, it's not awful. I mean, you just get to make an Almaties, and you get Brilliant Fusion. You make a Librarian, an Almaties, Brilliant Fusion, and then an Instant Fusion, and at that point, you're really strong. You're really set up at that point. And then besides that, we got Love Leader, Love Leader at 3, and then Tuning. I like Tuning Wear because he's just a great draw, and being able to be level 1 or level 2 is really nice. And then 1 Gold Bulb and 1 Synchron Resonator. I like Synchron Resonator. I mean, you should have a Synchron monster on your side of the field, so he's pretty easy to summon out. And so if you have Love Leader or one of your level 1 tokens, so just low level monsters, and you need a tuner, he's really nice. And then besides that, for other monsters, we're running Gen Knight Lazuli, and then Trick Clown, so that way we can make Sephiroth. We also have Tuning Wear, so if you draw into Trick Clown, it's not the worst thing in the world. And but if you draw into Gem Knight and Lazuli, it's kind of awful, because then you're just thinking, alright, I cannot draw into Brilliant Fusion. That card needs to be at the bottom of my deck at all times. I mean, if you see her, you're going to cry. And then of course we also have Max C. He's great. It's a great level 2, and you're going second, like I said, so if you open up with it, maybe you might get an extra draw or something. And just be able to do at least a little deck thinning, if nothing else. And so that is it pretty much for the monsters. Trick Clown, I mean, you're probably going to ditch him either for Quick Draw or like get him off of Foolish or Brilliant Fusion. So you're only going to get to see him once on the field. But nonetheless, having a level 4 isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, it can really help with making Trishula, or maybe making one of your higher level monsters like a Power Tool or Mahdi's. It just all depends on what you have. So into the spells, running 1 Instant Fusion, because you can only activate 1 per turn. No point in running on the second one and then having a dead draw. 1 for 1. Get all level 1 tuners. Rhoda is a search card. Soul Charge is you're going to make Quasar probably, or at least set you up. I mean, if you have a bad hand but you have Soul Charge, you have a playable hand. I mean, unless you don't have a single tuner in your hand. Or unless you have all tuners. Soul Charge is going to really help out. I mean, it may be costly, but I mean, you're not going to be using your life for anything else really besides the Instant Fusion and the 1 Trick Clown, and that's 2,000. You're only probably going to spend at most 3,000 with this card, and one of the targets is probably going to be Norden, so you're only going to be doing like 2,000 probably. Upstart, consistency, I really miss Chicken Race. Oh my god, that deck was so good. Quasar with Chicken Race was so good. I miss it. Foolish Burial. His Foolish Burial just, it gets you your level 1 tuners such as Jet Synchron, such as Glow Bulb. It can put stuff in the grave for your junks. I mean, there's just so many uses. And then of course we have the Retuning. Pretty standard for a Quasar deck. I mean, being able to search out your Quick Draw Synchron, your Junk Synchron, or your Jet Synchrons is very necessary. And then of course we have Twin Twister, just getting rid of back row and also being able to dump a card such as Synchron Fusionist to the graveyard is really nice. And then Brilliant Fusion is of course here just to make Sephiroth and just a dump. If you really don't want her and you want to have more room in your extra deck, just take her out. I mean, you get 3 cards in your deck and then another card in your extra deck. So that can be really nice if you really don't care for this card. But then again, having the extra normal summon isn't the worst thing in the world. Especially if you have like Jet Synchron. I mean, if you get out the 2 summons, and it's not a bad idea to use Jet Synchron's other effect. He has one effect where you can ditch a card to summon him out. He also has the other effect where you can search out a junk monster such as your Junk Synchron. So I mean, if you have Brilliant Fusion and you haven't used either of your normal summons and you need another junk, go ahead and use his effect to search. I mean, it isn't the worst thing in the world to do. And then for equipped spell cards for our 2 power tools, we have DDR. Not a lot of cards get banished. Our Jet Warrior gets banished. Our Jet Synchron gets banished if you use his effect to summon him out from the graveyard. Besides that, monsters that are with Norden get banished if he leaves the field, but that monster that he summoned out does not. So there are some monsters that get banished, but honestly, I've been thinking about another card. Let me show you it. I'm probably not going to be able... Oh, I did spell it right. This guy, it's pretty pricey and it's not always going to be guaranteed to work, but it isn't the worst thing in the world. It's 1,500 and you get a monster reborn a monster in your opponent's graveyard. Yeah, special on that target on your side of the field and face up attack resistant grip with this card. So it's 1,500, so it's expensive, but then again, like I said, you're only going to be spending 2,000, 3,000 max, and then this is going to be Instant Fusion and Trick Clown. And you're not guaranteed to see all of these cards, but if you do, that's another 2,000, so 4,000 to 5,000, so you still have another 3,000 life, so you could probably run 2 of these, and it isn't that bad. Again, you're going second, so your opponent should have a monster, but with pendulums, there's no guarantee, and they're probably going to be like level 4 or something, so... But I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely not the worst thing in the world. If you're going up against like Cosmos and they like use Tin Can and they just dumped 2 monsters into the graveyard, there's a variety of levels there. It depends on what they sent. And of course we have Refusion, which will just summon out Norden. It costs nothing. And do note with this card, in order for Norden to leave the field, this card has to be destroyed. So if your opponent like Castells it, or if they banish Refusion, like if they use Cosmojo on it, it doesn't matter. He'll stay on the field. This card has to be destroyed. Wait, this card, it does cost 800. I forgot about that, so that's an extra 24. I forgot that this guy cost 800 life. But yeah, in order for Norden to leave the field because of this effect, it has to be destroyed. It just can't be sent to the graveyard or bounced or whatever. But nonetheless, it's really great. I mean, just being able to do combos with Synchro Fusionist, where you can get Instant Fusion and then summon out him again. Hopefully you have another tuner and then get Refusion, or maybe you don't. One of the combos I like to do is if we have Synchro Fusionist in the graveyard, summon out Junk Synchron, make Librarian, get Instant Fusion the Junk Synchron, get Power Tool, search out these 3, get it to your hand, and then make another Power Tool. Hopefully you get another Refusion, but you might get DDR at that point. And then you have 2 level 7s. You just drew 2 cards. You searched out an Instant Fusion and then 2 of these. And then you can like overlay into a Draco Sack, pop a card after you summon 2 tokens. And then it depends on what you got. Did you get DDR or did you get Refusion? If you got Refusion, then you can then make Trishula, because you could summon Norden again. You have 2 level 3 tokens, summon out the level 3 Junk, and then make a level 9 Trishula, and you still have Norden on your side of the field. And then you just draw another card and get rid of another one of your opponents. So it might not lead to Quasar, and I think there is a combo somewhere where it will lead to Quasar. But I mean, you just made Trishula and drew 4 cards and popped an opponent's card and got rid of 2 cards because of Trishula. So it's pretty strong. And so yeah, let me just go into the extra deck real quick. Sephiunite, like I said, extra normal summon. Norden summons out a level 4 lower from your graveyard. Quasar can attack twice and can negate an effect once per turn. Then there is Trishula, just banish 1 card from hand, field, and graveyard. Road Warrior will summon out level 1 or level 2 warrior or machine type, so that's a lot of our monsters. That's Doppel, that's Tuning Rare, that's Jet Synchron. Pelto Dragon, you have to reveal 3 equipped spell cards from your deck, and your opponent randomly chooses 1 and adds it to your hand. So you can choose 3 of the same, so you can reveal all 3 Refusions, and hopefully you get a Refusion. And we're running 2 of them so we can make the Draco Sack in here, and so we can do more searching. And then Drill Warrior, he's just great because he can leave the field. That's one of the best things about him, is because when your field clogs, it hurts. But he will leave the. That's what we want. He'll banish himself, and then during your next standby phase, you can add a monster in your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty nice. Because if you don't make Quasar and you're still alive, he's just been there. That's like, all right, you're not losing. You're not losing. Librarian. His Librarian, just draw every time a monster is synchro summoned. So you want to make him because it allows for extended plays, so all that draw power is really nice. Armades is just a good level 5 synchro. Jet Warrior, you can make him pretty easily with either Jet Synchron or Quick Draw Synchron. He's a level 5. If you have a level 2 or lower monster that is not level leader, you can tribute it to special summon out Jet Warrior, and then he will banish himself when he leaves the field. But that's honestly really nice, because if you need to have another level 5, like if you make Armades but you have a level 4 Librarian and you have like if you have a 2 Doppel tokens and then like a Glow Bulb engraved, you can summon the Glow Bulb, make the formula, and then tribute the other token for Jet Warrior, and then you have 2 level 5s and the formula. And then Tatsunoko allows you to synchro summon using 1 monster in your hand. Synchro Fusionist. If you can't get him in your graveyard and you draw into him, making Tatsunoko is honestly really good. Especially when it comes to your other copies of him. If you keep on drawing into him, And the same would go for tuning rare. I mean, those are the two cards that you want to use with Tatsunoko, but of course also Level Leader is good. If you can't get a Level Leader into grave, then Tatsunoko is going to be there for you. And then of course we're running 2 formulas. I'd like to run them at 3. Oh my god, I wish we had 20 in the extra deck. But he's just great, especially if you have Librarian, because it's more draw power, and the more cards you draw, the more likely you're going to be able to make a play. And be able to make Quasar. Wow, this deck profile is getting on long. And then finally Dracossack. I mean, he's just here to get rid of these 2 cards so we have more room on our field and summon out some level 3 tokens. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a fun deck. I enjoy playing Quasar. It's always fun. I miss Chicken Game. Oh my god. Why did they have to ban the wrong card? Why didn't they just hit Life Equalizer? Like, that would have just put that card at 1 or at 0, probably at 0, and it would have been so much easier. Chicken Game was such a balanced card. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this long deck profile, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye. Hello guys, and we're here